A couple of years ago, I started this channel and I began to give people my meditations, my remote views, where I put myself in a deep trance and I attempted to hover over the earth in order to understand its conflicts. And from a place of objectivity to the best of my ability, I attempted to understand what was going on globally. And as I hovered over the earth, I saw energy patterns, which were trade routes, and competition for trade routes, which went back centuries. And I saw the types of trade that were being transferred: human beings, alcohol, drugs, coffee, sugar, alcohol. And as I looked at those trade routes, I realized that those trade routes remained and that people were still making money pretty much the same way as they always have, with opium, drugs, human trafficking, sugar, alcohol, processed foods, which are addictive. And that triangular trade existed. And then when we stand back and we look at that triangular trade, we look at South and Central America, where you can wheel and deal, private islands where you can hold large amounts of people. This is how the sugarcane plantations were built in places like Cuba and what is now Haiti. Those triangular trade hotspots remain triangular trade hotspots, and the perfect place to be if you're one of the people involved would be anywhere along the East Coast, particularly Florida, which is very close to Cuba. And many of these islands that have been under investigation through Interpol for human trafficking, drugs, etc., and drug smuggling coming in through mega yachts and money being transferred through cryptocurrency. And if you were a pirate, you would need maybe some place to transfer these things discreetly. People, crypto through computers. Computers that might be connected to Russian servers. There are many mafias, and the people in the mafias communicate, and they wheel and deal, and they transfer people, often as modeling agencies. It's one way to lure a woman to a foreign country, a slave, and traffic her. But more than that, you have to have collaborators. You have the Ukrainian mafia, the Russian mafia, Italian mafia, Jewish mafia. So you have Little Italy, hey, you have, and you have the real estate moguls that are fighting for turf. They're fighting for territory for their mafia to hold control of that area, whether it's in New York or anywhere else. So when you go into that neighborhood, you know you're entering into the turf of that particular mafia. And that is the world I find myself as I stand back and I look at the current administration and its connections to people in the Ukrainian mob, the Russian mob, and anywhere else. Jewish mob, Italian mob, Lithuanian, you name it. If it's the mob, if they're wheeling and dealing drugs, people part of the cartel, connecting and wheeling and dealing and doing business with the cartel and turning a blind eye to people who may be part of that cartel, or giving a slap on the wrist because perhaps the US government's been using honey pots for a while, which is why Epstein got a slap on the wrist, and was possibly moving women through Mar-a-Lago and possibly Bedminster. And is that really the dirt? Not a bunch of silly photographs of Mr. Trump with a bunch of call girls. That's silly. Nobody cares about that. No, your involvement, Mr. Trump, in that, just to say, how can we say a little bit of chaos? Now we have to ask ourselves, who's the big kingpin? Who has most of the crypto? Who's the big boy in town? Of all of you mafiosa, who's the biggest, baddest? Well, I guess you could say that the nerds win. Because Elon, when you stand back, oh, Elon, King Elon, he's the kingpin. He's the guy who's got all the crypto. So if we look at Tesla, for example, they moved in October, what, 790 million in crypto? Because Tesla takes crypto. And that's just the crypto we know about. Isn't that right, Mr. Musk? Because you've been dealing with crypto on the side for a very long time, haven't you? When you got in dirty and deep with the Russians. And you used it to move money to private accounts that helped get this guy out of hot water with the Russians, didn't you? Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah, so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a takeover of the mafia. And what does the mafia want? They want what the mafia has always wanted. They want control and power over turf. As for Mr. Musk personally, we've done profiles on him. He wants total control. He's a control freak. He never wants to be that little boy being beaten up by a bunch of thugs ever again. So he has decided that he is going to be the ultimate thug. Isn't that clever? Well, I think we'll do the empath's prayer. We'll go in and we'll see what else we find in store for ourselves. Be sure and share, like, subscribe. Remember that this is strictly entertainment only, that I am merely a comedian. And nothing I say should be taken even slightly seriously, because we don't want to be demonetized. Let us see into the crystal ball of the cards. Great to see you all here. And find out what more we can, excuse me, about this corrupt group of fools and how we can fight the mafia. Now, I as I sat in meditation tonight, I was told that we should make contact with organizations fighting the mafia in other countries. Contacting advocates that fight against the mafia in other countries, that we need to collaborate, because this is like El Contra Nova. That's what this is. This is a takeover by the mafia. He bought the White House. He bought the White House by paying off Trump's debts, working with various different PACs that paid for the Republican Party, which was in financial trouble. And then they paid to take over their promotion strategies, and they used Twitter. And they also worked at the local level to suppress votes. Stealing votes through computers probably wasn't necessary. It's really not necessary when you have that much control over people. Let's take a look. Did we do the empath's prayer yet? I don't think we did. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. Let's go in. Great to see you here. If you could like and subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Let me look into my crystal ball. Let us see what the future holds for this crime family. All right, where we are right now, the truth is coming out within 1 year. Also a great savior. The Knight of Cups comes in, a 1 year period. We could take the House within a year because of special elections. A crash is coming to the United States. It's right over us. This could be an economic crash. Let's see more. Let's see more. Let's see more. I need to know. I need to know more. Tell me more. Tell me more. And the crossing card is mastery. It's as if masters have gone in and are deliberately trying to destroy the U.S. government from within. That is what is happening right now. I see masters over the house, and the house is being destroyed. It could be what we have as a hostile takeover by a mafia. Well, the head mafiosa in this case is Elon Musk. He's bought the presidency. He is the president, and he is now inside of our intelligence agencies, and he is deconstructing us. Mm-hmm. What is above us, there is great grief over that which we lost. We see our city burning, and we feel there's nothing we can do. The city burns. There's nothing we can do. The masters chip away, slowly chipping away. We weep as we see everything we've created being destroyed. What we sit in, a desire to fight back and to protect that which is ours, our land, our identity, our social security, everything else that's been breached. We feel personally violated. The Seven of Wands seeks to defend and protect. It's got a green screen. Seven of Wands is a desire to protect and defend one's territory. What we are coming out of, the sun is coming out. It's slowly being revealed. Remember, if you go back to the remote I did by Putin, that Putin said he wanted to take over the world, and by the time you realize what I have done, it will be too late. Our enemies want to dismantle us. They want to weaken us, and they want to do it in the guise of patriotism. The near future for the United States, we have lost the war. An inverted Five of Swords. We are not able to completely stop that because their computers are locked on. That now they've got worms inside our computers and everything else. They're so deep in now, according to this. Five of Swords. For the time being, we've lost the war. What's coming out? The King of Swords is in the position of power. That would be Trump and Musk. They're pretty much one of the same. The opposition, Ten of Cups. Stick close to your families. Take care of your families at this time. Hopes and fears. What will come over the next 6 months for the nation during this process. And the final outcome for the country. addiction, drug addiction. There could be an opening up of removing of restrictions, which could lead to an increase in the amount of drugs on the street, possibly from China. That some of what they are dismantling could also be our ability to protect ourselves from the outside world, including issues of drug addiction. So the days of the fentanyl crisis, which we are now trying to see come to an end, we could see another massive hit of drugs, alcohol, addiction, also the devil. This is a deep desire for control of us. Remember, we're talking about the energy here of control, addiction. This is like sadomasochism, and Elon Musk is very much like that. He wants to trap us in his simulation, trap us in his matrix so that we can never, never go, never, never go. Right? It's a really, okay, a little possessive there. Just level it off, like, and where they're at. So you have this war king, you've got this cold-hearted military king, and you've got a war king. So that could be both Trump and Musk. The opposition at this time, we are lucky we're with our families. Stick to your families and you'll be okay. Stick to those you love. Take care of your garden. It's like they self-destruct. They will get into their frenzy and probably self-destruct, I imagine. Hopes and fears are the health of the nation. And the final outcome for us at this time is Four of Swords. Perhaps the nation will die, or there will be a period of rest, some major event between now and April. Excuse me. Some major event between now and April. As I had said, February would be a pretty active month. We saw a major dip in the stock market, particularly in NASDAQ. But we also saw massive, some horrible crashes over DC. Unfortunately, people died. The other big thing that happened in February was the Doji taking over of the U.S. Treasury, et cetera. Somebody had said, well, what was the big deal about February? Oh my! You don't think it was you don't think it was busy? No, you think it was just another day, another dollar, another day, another nickel. And the hostages were released, I believe. We got to see Spire also. So February, January was busy. No, they said what happened in January, and that was all. That's what happened in January. Excuse me. Now we're in February. So in February, I just these cards would indicate a lot of dismantling, things coming to an end. Watch addiction at this time. Also addictions to false information. Check your data, check your sources. Really check. Don't believe anything you see from anybody, left or right. Learn how to do good data collection. Check multiple search engines. I like Nomi AI because it's super. They check multiple, but whatever works for you. But never believe anything until you see hard data. That's just my recommendation. All right, have fun out there. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out, and we'll see you next time. If you need to have a reading with me, you can find the information below. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.